Welcome back to the Whiskey No podcast. It's 2026. I disappeared for a while, but we're back. And I thought, what better way to be back than with Mr. Lee Ramsey. Welcome back to the podcast, Mr. Lee.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
How's the New Year been so far?
Yeah, good. Busy. Trying to get organised for the year ahead.
Mm-hmm. You had I saw there you had your first event of the year.
Yep, whiskey and pottery evening with Mud Ireland. So quite a interesting collaboration. So we put together after a tasting of mine in October, and then sort of roll with the idea. We'll see how it went. So it was sold out event, which was good, and it gives us a chance to build on it.
Sick. That's class. No, I saw. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it, but it looked fantastic. Very different as well to be sort of pottery and whiskey. I don't think anyone's ever done anything like that.
No, I think that was the first. Well, of what I know.
Breaking ground.
I know what I know, but yeah, it was interesting. So it was a good night because it was a mix. So we started off with some pizza from Tutti La Pizza next door, and then pizza's really good with the calzones. But yeah, started off with that, and then we dived into whiskey. So there was 4 whiskeys, but it was a mixed welcome drink. We used Outwalker for it.
Oh, nice.
And then were kindly donated by Gary. Thank you very much. And then I wanted to go through the other styles of whiskey. So we went with a single grain from Copeland.
Oh, very nice.
And then we went with a single malt, the Belfast Whiskey Week exclusive one from Shorecross.
Oh, it's nice. I have that up.
Finished in the Mourne Mountain Brewery.
Yeah.
Stout cask, yeah. And then we finished with a pot still from Garden County.
Right.
I wanted one exclusively from the north, but I couldn't get my hands on one time.
Right. So
we'll go with it, but it was good. So got the chance, 4 whiskeys, some pizza, and then you made 2 sort of whiskey vessels to drink out of. Get 2 goes in the wheel and with 3 hours. So it was a good night.
Fair night, like.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Couple more dates in the book for it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
excellent.
We've February 12th, and it's half sold out, and then we've March 19th, and it's half sold out.
March 19th. You're not in India at that point, are you? You be back? Oh. Ooh. Maybe try and get that one in the book. No, well, listen, thanks very much for being back on. I think the first episode I did with you was hugely successful. Considering we had to break it into 2 parts, which was even better. But we'll start off, get a wee whiskey going here just before we get into what this episode's about, as I'm sure if anyone has looked at the actual title of this, we're going to sort of, I don't know if it's going to be a deep dive or how much we're going to talk about it, but we're going to go through my top 5 and your top 5 whiskies of 2025.
Good.
Sound good?
Yeah,
Sound
of course.
Good. But tell you what, do you want to do the inaugural pop of 2025 right up to the microphone?
You need to get a liquid on it.
Okay. Go for it. And we've got this one on hand. Holly, I'm going to have to get you one of the ones with the actual name on it. That smells amazing. There you go.
I was shaky hand there.
Shaky hand. It was a big task. First pop of 2026. But anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Halls.
Sponsor.
So that, for anyone who's listening and not watching, that is one of Belfast's renowned whiskies, the Friend at Hand, owned by Willie Jack down in the Cathedral Quarter. This one in particular, they have a whole range of them. This one's called 7 Deadly Sins. It's a 16-year-old, and it is absolutely delicious. I bought it, about a month ago. We were down and wanted to go in the museum. If you're ever down there, go in and have a look at the museum. Have you done the museum?
Oh, yeah.
Of course you have. It's unreal. I mean, some of the stuff he has in there is insane.
Unbelievable. But
Right.
it never gets old because you always spot something new every time you're in. You're like, flip, I didn't see that before.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
think I'm going to take a trip down next week. I got a wee voucher for my birthday. So.
It's dangerous. Like I was in. When did I buy you that Dunvilles? About October. Oh, it was for your birthday. That's right. Literally went in and had no intention of buying anything. And it's just sort of
Too long idea.
I have what I call like a Dave day where I just go into Belfast and just there's no like plan. I just go in and have a wee dander around, and then I come home again. I might get a coffee, and just so happened to be around Duke York getting a pint of Murphy's because they do have a cracking pint of Murphy's, and I thought I'll go in and have a wee chat, and walked in with a bottle of Dunvilles. So, I mean, it wasn't such a bad day, but right, 2025.
2025.
I've got my top 5. Now, I think me and you were talking about this before we started, and I think we've settled on these are going to be. There's a couple of different top 5 lists that we could do.
Yeah.
But this is the top 5 of whiskies that we bought and we've opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think near the end of 2025, I was flooded with different ones that I have, but I haven't done a lot of opening.
Yeah.
So as much as I may have tried them, I can't settle on them in my top 5
unless you've opened it.
Unless I've opened it.
Fair enough.
Because that means I've maybe had more than one dram out of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you've given it a proper sit down,
Yeah,
comfort of your house with you
packed it a wee bit.
Bar chocolate.
Aye, that's me all over bar chocolate. Aye.
Do you want me to start us off, or do you want to start us off? I'm because we haven't actually discussed what's on our lists.
You start.
So it'd be interesting to see if there's any crossover.
You start.
But, right, well, the first one, there's a couple of reasons why I'm going for this. So the first one I went for, one, I've never owned what would be considered the sort of the flagship bottle. I've never owned it, until recently, but I now have it, and I have done an episode on it. But it was the Redbreast 15-year-old cask strength that came out to celebrate the 20th anniversary. So until then, I'd never bought a bottle of Redbreast. And I don't know why, but I never had a bottle. So I thought, right, this will be a good sort of step into a nice anniversary bottle, has a bit of heritage about it. And I think that's sort of what I was trying to compel the list together was, okay, I want to go for something that this is staple, this is heritage, this is Irish whiskey, at its finest, pot still, that's my favorite kind of whiskey. And then sort of maybe build the list around that, sort of going into different avenues and stuff like that. But I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous, especially given cask strength. I put like a load of notes here because it's been a while since I've actually reopened the bottle. I sort of opened it a few times when I first got it. But the big thing that I found from it that I thought was very, very clever was it being the 20th anniversary and it being a 15-year-old whiskey. When I was reading up about it, they'd done a marriage of 15 different casks to make the blend of the whiskey, which I thought was very good because it's like sort of a nice sort of nod to the fact that it's a 15-year-old whiskey.
Yeah.
So you've tried it, haven't you?
I've tried it.
What do you think?
I do like it. Yeah, no, it's a lovely whiskey. I don't have a bottle.
I think I might give you I think I gave you a sample at some point when I first got it. Maybe didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I think it was just, again, it was one of those ones. It was the first one-off bottle that I bought last year, in the sense that there probably isn't going to be another release unless they sort of bow to the pressure of the fans and say, right, okay, yeah, no, we'll do another one. I mean,
it took long enough for him to do that with the PX.
Yeah.
So
So again, it was just one of those ones where I was like, I have it. It's upstairs. I'm not afraid to open it, but it's going to sit up there, and it'll be cracked out in this sort of special occasions.
Yeah.
We'll throw photos in and stuff to show what it actually looks like, because again, it had this like lovely dark green color to it.
Yeah.
The box and stuff.
Nice bottle too. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm not going to talk about taste and stuff like that, even though we are a whiskey channel and that's sort of what we'll go into. I'm just focusing on what my top 5 was, because we could sit and we could drink these all day, but it would end up being a 3 hour long episode,
Yeah.
touching Joe Rogan territory.
Oh yeah.
Right. And these are in no order for me, by the way. These are just sort of the top 5 I picked.
Well, mine's in order.
Okay.
So coming in at number 5 was a Boann PX. So it's been a staple whiskey for me this year.
Like last year, I think Boann that was sort of my introduction to them, where I hadn't, I believe it or not, I actually believe you might have been the introduction to them for me, in that, because I know you'd done, I think that one of the last times we had talked, you hadn't actually done the night, but it was in the books to host them and bring them up and stuff like that, and you had sort of mentioned it. I thought I must go and check it out. First thing, and again, I know people hate me when I say this, but I do sometimes judge a book by the cover. Really nice bottle.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that was one of the things that sort of drew me, as much as I'd had a few wee bits and pieces of their Whistler collection. I was like, oh, they're not bad, you know. And then when their own liquid came in, of the Boann sort of triple series that came out, automatically I was like, yep, I want the PX. I want the PX. Got it. And did not disappoint in any way. And then obviously, as you said there, of being able to get them up in November there, with Harry coming up to do a tasting, huge thanks to him. But it was their first tasting in the north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He also let me out. I must give you a sample of a cask sample of just a straight ex-bourbon.
Oh yeah.
That they have, and the flavor is unbelievable. From their pastel, it's unbelievable stuff.
See, again, I'm huge fan of the pot still whiskey. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It just maybe the flavors that come out into it. But I was being so bold. I was on the Irish whiskey auction site, and I had a few that I was watching, but a lot of the Boann ones that come up on it.
Yeah.
And there was some deer cask that I was going to go for. And I was only at the last minute. I forgot. There was 3 that I was looking at, but they all for some reason had different end times on them. So the 2 that I was watching the most, I thought the Boann had the same time. So I'm just going to have to go out and buy one now. That's, it's an easy fix. But it was as soon as I went back on for a bit, I think I'd been has bid for it anyway. It wasn't that much. It was maybe about 40, 50 euro at that point. And I was like, I have to get myself a bottle.
Yeah, it's unbelievable stuff.
And it's interesting because Boann does come in to mine later on, but not directly. But we'll get on to that because it's a wee bit further down the list.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But, so that's your number
5.
Number
5 a year. Number 5.
Well, I said I haven't put these in any sort of order. The next one I'm going to go in for is purely, so I said, well, we looked at heritage, and we sort of looked at, okay, here's the staple Irish whiskey that everybody knows, everybody has potentially tried and stuff. Then I thought, I want to go for something young, something new, but something that is, it's probably the closest distillery to where I am right now. That's Hinch. They came out with their very first single malt last year with their own liquid. And again, I've a load of bottles of Hinch, to be fair, upstairs. They have the Sauternes cask, a few different refills and stuff like that, and they're just wonderful whiskies.
Oh yeah.
But again, if you go by just judging almost the book by the cover, they just brought it out and just went single malt, Hinch single malt, and that was it. It was just no frills about it.
Aye.
Nothing like big fancy box or big or anything like that, because we've got one of those on here as well. But it just pure and simple is what it's on the label. Just put it down, single malt. There you go.
At a great price.
At a fantastic price.
Yeah.
And it was Balmoral Show. I got to try it, and went up, and who was was Aidan there? Yeah, he was just out walking around the showgrounds, you remember? And then just this big fella just came down. Next thing it accosted me, he was like, "Oh, there's Dave." I was like, "What?" He just dragged me into the tent. He says, "Come on with me. I've got something for you to try."
Okay.
I think they'd just come out maybe the day before they just released it. But yeah, it's just one of those nice, simplistic bourbon Oloroso, nothing crazy, just no bells and whistles. Just there you are, straight single malt, and it does exactly what it needs to do
Yeah.
for me. I said just something young that's come from 5-10 miles down the road for me.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I was like, yeah, you gotta have one of them in the top 5.
Yeah.
I might have 2 of them in the top 5, but I'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, I got a bottle of it from birthday,
yeah.
so it made me 26 list, but yet again, I don't think I've opened it yet.
Right.
So many bottles sitting unopened because I've been trying to kill through my samples.
Yeah.
Because I'm like 3 boxes deep with samples, so I'm trying to work through them.
I'd sort of come up with a bit of an idea. The other thing I'm going to try and do this year with my samples, which is, I may not do it here because we are talking about so many whiskies, but I think going forward, any of the episodes I do, I got the idea because I wanted to do an advent calendar coming up to Christmas, and I ended up not doing it. I think the best thing to do is, because I've got God knows how many of them, I'm going to number them. I'm going to put them in a box so I don't know what they are. And then every guest that comes on, pick a number between 1 and whatever it is. And then whatever that number is, that's the one we'll take out and we'll have a let's just sit and have a wee chat.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way I'm going to try and get rid of them. Or get through them at least.
No, well, see, that's my problem is now I've tried for a good while there. I tried not opening any bottles and just working through samples.
Yeah.
But I'm also in a whiskey share group chat.
Yeah.
So then every month I'm getting sent new samples. So I could drink 4 samples in a month.
But get
And
6.
then I'm getting, I'm getting 6 or 12 the next month. I'm going. So I had to get a 3rd box for samples. So it's just overflowing.
Oh, such a terrible thing. That's just terrible.
Too much choice is a hardship. Like.
Yeah, I mean, again, I sort of said this. I can't remember who I was talking to, but if you want to meet the nicest bunch of business people, so to speak, or like that sort of professional level who all they want to do is help you, it's the whiskey community.
Yeah.
It is shocking how nice everybody is, and it's 9 times out of 10 you're not even asking for any of this. You just happen to be in a conversation with them, like, here, try this, or have you tried this one yet? Oh, I get you. I mean, like, even just me and you talking here, like, I must get you a sample of that.
Yeah.
You just it's very, very easy for things to build up very, very quickly, but it's also very easy to find some ones that you go, oh, I like that, and then when you go to actually buy the bottle, you're like, maybe I won't buy this bottle just yet.
So I have a wee list of top 5 samples a year, and obviously most of 3 out of 5 of them were stuff sent to me.
Yeah.
But one of them on the list was completely left field that I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of this. I know what this is, what the brand is, and then had it and went, I'm going to go on Amazon and see how much it is. And it was really like 45 quid. Now, I'm yet to get it, but I'm like, it's saved on my Amazon list.
So much want to share, or what was it, or are you gonna?
Well, it was.
Can you tell me after?
It was a Speed and Bushel by Copeland Distillery.
Okay.
14-year-old Marsala cask.
Okay. I've never even heard of them.
Yeah, neither did I. So I'd say whiskey share group sent me it, and then I went on to find out about it. It was on Amazon for £45 for the 14-year-old. I was like,
oh, real.
I must get that because it was an absolute belter of a sip.
See, I remember that 3 drams. So every month I get 3, and literally upstairs right now, it's just gathering boxes because I never get to them. I never actually get to sit down and watch the tasting.
See, that's why I didn't sign up.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not gonna. It doesn't matter what's happening. See, I could sit in the house for an hour and I could have that episode of it watched, but I know I'll probably sit TikTok for an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. It'll be on in the background and you start getting
like, or like it's like even trying to finish a TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, like I
'Cause-
I only got finished Stranger Things there. So
Right. No, I went up to. I think the only way. Well, only way I thought I was going to do it was I went up to the Harbourview Whiskey Club
yeah,
and sat down with them, and even that, it was all in the background, and everyone was too busy just
talking.
chatting and
Yeah.
having a bit of crack and stuff, and we're like, oh, what whiskey are we on now? And it was. I sort of felt bad because it was. I think the first one I was watching, you had like Damien from Titanic on it, and I was like, we're missing someone from just down the road talking about his whiskey and we're not really listening to it.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe this is something you do in the house
Yeah,
by yourself. But yeah, I said, for me, if we're going to call it number 4 or whatever it is, definitely the Hinch, just the standard single multi came out. Just that had to make the list for me. I think just something so just simple.
Yeah.
Just simple. And it's such a, I say simple, I'm not talking about the fact that the whiskey is simple. The whiskey it's very, very complex. But just everything about it was just so, here's our whiskey.
yeah.
Go and enjoy it.
It's
I think I find
great
that with
price
Hinch.
point.
Yeah, they've just turned around going, here's our whiskey.
Yeah.
Go and enjoy it. Right.
So my number 4 of 2025 is Blackwater Distillery,
Mm-hmm.
the full Irish.
Very good. Okay. Again, not one I've tried yet, but
So again, I think it was something I bought around this time last year. Birthday money was stretching rightly, so I got it. No, again, it was just complex in the way of like a proper, almost like old fashioned heritage sort of whiskey
mhm.
using grains, a great mix of grains and cereals, to make it.
Yeah.
And it was, it was just proper like Irish liquid. So I don't know if you know about Peter Mulhern, the distiller, head founder of
No, I think I did.
Blackwater.
Wouldn't be one.
Yeah,
sort of-
he wrote a few books on it.
Oh, really?
Sort of like the Whiskies of Ireland book.
Do I have that?
It's like gold, brown, like gold.
I
I
do.
think you probably do.
I do have that.
Well, that's his book, and he's also wrote one on Bushmills, and he's just a bit of a genius,
Right. Okay.
and that liquid is exceptional. Now, a few other bits and pieces from him I would love to try,
Yeah.
but it's just exceptional liquid. The only downfall is it only comes in like a 50 cl, so
Right. Okay.
not a full 70.
See, that has thrown me. That in itself has got me a few times where there's been. I'm not actually because I haven't went out and bought it, but there was Clonakilty Distillery. I was down there one year, and they had a lot of bottles waiting to go out, but there were 750. So they weren't legally allowed to sell them to me. They were going to America.
Yeah.
So they had all these lovely. I can't remember what cask finishes and stuff they were, but all these lovely whiskies that they were just dangling them like a cart in front of me, and I was like, "Am I not allowed to buy this?" And I went, "No,
Yeah.
it's going to America. It's not legal for us to sell that here." I'm like,
Yeah,
so I have to buy that from America just to get. And they're like,
get back here.
yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I was like, that's such a shame.
Yeah, well, this is, as I say, it's they have loads of stuff on their site that I would love to try, but it's just 50 cl. But the good thing was, I think it was only like 45-50 euro,
Yeah,
but from Waterford, and then free shipping. It was great that way. Whereas some bars you're ordering down south, you're paying 10 or 12 euro.
that's as it's.
So
It's funny you said Waterford there as well. As like the being on that Irish whiskey auction, it seems to just be getting flooded with Waterford whiskey at the minute, and it's. I would love to say that at some point maybe it's going to be,
worth something.
worth having it, but at the minute every single bottle I see going up was the minimum was like €20 on it, and that's where I was like, just hold on to it.
Yeah, well, see, I would get one just to stick away.
Yeah, that's really just hold on to it.
in 20 years, if a distillery, obviously I know it's gone now, but if it doesn't ever get bought over,
Mm-hmm.
then you have a whiskey
Have
from a
something there.
distillery that's no longer here.
Yeah.
That's a wee bit of whiskey history.
Yep. I think yeah. I probably will get a bottle. I think we looked at a bottle in Cork. It's a very heavy bottle.
Yeah.
Like good, solid bottle. Like we're just going to sit down. I think it's one of those ones where if you drop it, it's not smashing.
I know.
It's a
Bounce.
chunky bottle. Like
Yeah.
Blackwater. Again, it's not a whiskey I've tried yet. I'd be interested to see. So what was the finish on it?
To be honest, I can't remember.
Can't remember. No. You can find out and let me know.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't remember.
You call it was full Irish?
Yeah, full Irish.
Now, would you eat it with a full Irish still?
Good, alright.
I'll try.
Or if you're hungover, that's your full Irish breakfast.
That's it. Just on a week.
Have it. But yeah, it was a mix of like different grains and cereals, and it was just really almost like traditional 1800s whiskey.
Yeah.
You know how they would have made it using what they had.
Yeah. Class. Well, speaking of mixing whiskey, that brings me on to mind. Now I know you've got something sitting over there that you're gonna crack out here in a wee second, but one of the most interesting ones for me to try last year was the Pillars of Creation 2 stacks drop that came out last year. And the reason why is, one, I'd never tried them. 2, I'd never heard of them. And then when I found out they're just from down the road in Newry, and we were driving down to Cork one year, or we were driving down to Cork last year, and we drove past them, and I went, I can't believe that this is, again, only about 15 miles down the road. But what I liked about it most was it gave me the chance to try 4 whiskey companies that I'd never tried before.
Yeah.
So you had Dingle, you had Ecklandville, you had Mickle, and you had Boann.
Wow.
And I have to say, it was just gorgeous. Again, it was one of these ones where I didn't know what to expect with it. It was just had everything in it. Like it really did, but it wasn't one thing sitting on top of another.
Yeah.
Like you got a wee bit of, pot still, you got a wee bit of single malt, you got a little bit of peat in it as well, but they all just really mashed together so well. It was probably one of the most complex whiskies I tried last year.
I would probably have it, because I forgot about it, to be honest. So of things I sampled last year, it would probably be in top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know I think I have a 10 or 2 of it in the house.
Oh yeah, because it came with a tin. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still have the tin.
Yeah, but as I say, it would be in my top 10 of sampling.
Yeah,
because I didn't get the bottle.
Didn't get the bottle. No, again,
the rules apply.
I think because it came out around the same sort of time as the Redbreast, and that was again sort of whenever the podcast was kind of finding some sort of footing.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be. Do you know what? I'm a wee bit annoyed myself because I never did an episode on them.
Yeah.
So I will. Even though it'll be probably a year out of date at that point, and they'll have come out with so many different new things since then. But it was just one of those ones where it was like, it was just so different and so expressive. I have to just keep this for myself for now. And enjoy it and get to sort of maybe understand what 2 stacks are about.
Yeah.
And then we were down at the Whiskey Expo for Belfast Whiskey Week, and they were there, and they had, what's the one in the can? It was what was one I let you try, Hoss? It was, the cream liqueur. Oh my god.
Double cream liqueur.
Oh my goodness.
Exceptional stuff.
It was so good. I mean, it was just so good.
I think I've drank about 4 bottles over Christmas. We were putting up a Christmas tree one night, and I poured a glass like that, and then Courtney said to me, "What if we put that in a pint glass?"
I may as well.
Don't tempt me.
Don't tell me. I will. I have enough to put it into a pint glass here.
Had it, topped it up again. It's like, I actually think I've just sat here and drank like a pint of 2 sacks of ice cream.
Yeah.
Don't regret it, like, but
Oh yeah, no
unbelievable
regrets.
stuff.
I'm sure you drank responsibly, but
Yeah. But I actually always keep a bottle of it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think so that was I think I bought the Redbreast because again I knew what it was, and I thought that the 2 stacks one was coming out. Again, it was like that sort of. I get suckered in by it's limited edition. Like they know that it's like, oh well, this is how Dave's going to buy the bottle. But it was then when they turned around and said comes with the free can, I was like, oh
Yeah.
And then they were
Free
like,
gift.
and then they were like, do you want to upgrade and get the carrying case for it as well? And then the carrying case came out. I was like, oh, it's like a collector's dream.
Yeah.
Because they just kept throwing new fancy things into it, saying, what about this as well? And what about this as well? It's like, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. Let me get this, let me get this.
Yeah.
Now, when it arrived, it didn't disappoint. It looked fantastic. And even I was sort of taken away with like the wee cases that came in and stuff. I was like, oh, this is fancy. Again, it's just that sort of.
Help me carry this up the stairs.
Well, I mean, it has now, in fact, made it up the stairs, but for a while it was sitting down there, just sort of staring at me, going, "You need to drink me."
Yeah.
You know, you've only had a couple. Let's go, let's get through it. But I find sort of bottles like that really big conversation starters as well, because someone comes in and they see a bottle of whiskey in a satchel.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's that whiskey? Why is it in a satchel?
Yeah.
And then you start going into it, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's a lot to this. It's not just
there's a full story behind it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it was one of those ones. I like things that I would sort of class as winter warmers, you know. And I know that's a bit strange considering I would hold myself saying that my favorite whiskey would be a pot still, which you wouldn't necessarily always put with winter because you got your citrus and and sort of things like that. But this one just had slight smoke to it. Just had a bit of spice. It had a bit of warmth. Fruity. It had all of it in one. It was like going to like a Michelin star restaurant where you just get overloaded with taste.
Yeah,
but not in a bad way. It's like it
hit
sort of
all the right notes.
Yeah,
at the right time.
It really does. Yeah. It was so good. But yeah, so that would be, again, not putting them in order, but that would be the third one for me. Like I really loved that whiskey.
Exceptional. It is. I still would say I think I have a can or two of it in the house. So you've just put it in my head. I'm gonna have to open that one of them in the next couple of days and go through it because I do remember how good it is.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna have to, because I'm off this week from work, so I think every night now I'm just gonna have to. My plan was essentially what you were saying there. Is like start going through. I got myself a whiskey tasting book, which has like all the breakdown, like all your notes, and that's like it's like an ADHD dream because it's just a notepad filled with almost like it's like grown up activities, as I call it, because it's like draw a wee diagram to say like it had like you're doing a web diagram of it. It had this much smokiness and this much pasta. And it's just
Now I've started a couple of them. I can never stick to doing them. I always just take a note on my phone or put it like this.
That's like me in a podcast. I can't stick to it.
But my number 3 for the year is the Dunvilles. I think it's 19-year-old or 18-year-old. Very rare Oloroso cask finish. 55%. Unbelievable bottle.
Single malt, or was it a... What'd you say?
I think it was a single malt.
Single malt?
Yeah. Unbelievable bottle. Now, it sort of cheats a wee bit because I didn't buy it.
Right, okay.
But I was given it.
But you have it, and it's open. So it's in your collection. You own it, and it's in your collection.
There's actually not much of it left. There's probably about that much.
No, that's fair.
I'm reserving it.
That meets the criteria.
Yeah.
You own the bottle and it's opened. So, yeah.
My criteria was for the comments I got on my top 5 whiskies of the year was it had to be a bottle I bought / owned and have opened. So for the people asking about Copeland's 25 series, I do have them. They just aren't open yet.
Yep.
And a few other bottles along with that. So
You need to open them.
I know, but it's just one of them. Choice is a hard one. So maybe one night I'll sit and just go,
Just go through
25,
1.2, 0.3, 0.4.
and
Just
up.
do it in order.
But we had whiskey night and Saturday night there with some of my boys, and I don't know how many times I sort of mentioned it. New Copeland's up top. I didn't want to be the one to pick it. I was like, pick one of them down.
I
And
just
oh, no, we got one down here. It's like,
see.
get them.
I'm not too sure when this episode's going out, but if it's out before this Friday, you're giving the boys, because I'm having a poker night down here, and you're giving the boys who are going to watch this a bit of thing, because they're going to come up and they're going to be like, have you opened that one yet? Like, no. Why don't you open that one now, Dave? Like, let's get that one. We want to try that one, because they're all whiskey drinkers, so.
That's right. It's whiskey for drinking.
I think, well, I've opened them all. But anyway, Dunvilles.
So Dunvilles, Oloroso, cask fresh, exceptional stuff.
Yeah.
Now, as I say, I didn't buy it because it is up there in price,
Okay.
but it's an exceptional dram, and I'm an absolute sucker for a Oloroso finished whiskey, and this does not disappoint. I have such a sweet tooth.
Yeah, that's.
It follows through at dry fruits, and it's just unbelievable stuff. So,
See, again, Dunvilles was something that I'd always wanted to try. And again, I never went out and bought a bottle of it. And it was, when I was down at the Friend at Hand,
yeah,
I was chatting away with them, and I was wanting to buy producer Holly a birthday present. And you'd always turn around and say, did you want a bottle of Dunvilles? So I was like, I was just chatting away. I'm like, right, you need to recommend me a bottle of Dunvilles here. I'm not leaving without one. But you'd mentioned Sweet Tooth. Have you tried, is it the peach cask, or is it it's like a cotton candy almost?
is this the was this the Trav Fest one from last year, or the Belfast Whiskey Week one?
It was, I don't even know if it was part of, hold on, let me see if I can find it here, because it was.
Was it peach brandy?
Yes, it was.
The Dunvilles 1808 peach brandy.
Yeah. Is that it? Yeah, the peach brandy. It was peach brandy. Oh my God. I've never tasted a whiskey like it. It just tasted like, to me, it was just like candy floss. It was amazing.
Was this for a Trav Fest, or was this for Whiskey Week?
It was Belfast Trad Fest. So 2025. So again, I got to try it at the Whiskey Week.
Yes, because they were
there, and I was
yes.
like,
Yes, I did try it. Unbelievable stuff too. Yeah.
so good. But again, it was like this sort of innovation that you've got Dunvilles, who are, well renowned sort of brand from here, and they've done so many amazing things, with like cigar finishes and things like that. But then it's sort of just so left field with innovation in that it was so sweet,
Yeah.
but it was gorgeous,
Yeah. It was
absolutely
nice one,
gorgeous.
unfortunately, didn't pick up bottom either, but
No, well,
it was
again,
lovely.
I think it's one, again, real big confidence. I think Dunville just had sort of touched on so much.
Yeah.
But again, so when I was buying it, he was like, if you don't know which one you want to get, just get the single malt. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was I'd cop, but it was about £70 or something for the bottle. But it was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have the 10-year-old Palo Contrario.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, this year's going to break my bank. There's still so many whiskeys out there that I really want to try of companies who are just so local that
Yeah.
it's, I've never ventured into it to say, or like I've stuck with, okay, well, the recommendations and stuff, but there's just bottles that have been sitting there. Again, it was David up in Stitch and Weave. Like he was all talking Dunvilles. He had some cracking bottles. I went up for a whiskey night with him, and I was just sitting chatting away, and he brought me down to the downstairs bar, and he was showing me all the different Dunvilles, because I think Stitch and Weave did a bottle with Dunvilles as
but
well.
they've just brought out exclusive with
Short
Cross the
Saw that
pot
as
still,
well. Yeah,
which I'm gonna have to get.
yeah, 100%. I think, but again, I think there was. I think there was. Well, I know I'm in a group chat with him. And I think there was a competition that he was going to see who could guess how many bottles came out of the cask,
Okay.
and I can't remember how many he said. I don't know who won it either, but again, I think they were hoping to get sort of in the high 200s.
Yeah.
The sort of maybe early 300s, but definitely high 200s.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I definitely would like to get one. Maybe use it for a tasting,
yeah.
but keep half a bottle for me. That's sort of realm.
Man, happy part.
Realms on the business / personal use.
Well, just purely because we've talked about it, and you haven't opened it yet. I have opened it. That's the Copeland 25.1. Now again, big fan of Copeland. Especially with the bottle they've done with Garrick, because again, it was Holly had introduced me to it, and she was like, "You need to try this." They're like renowned. The Garrick's renowned, very famous for its Irish coffees and stuff, and but then saw that
Belfast coffees.
Yeah. Oh, is there a difference between Irish coffee and Belfast coffee?
The Belfast coffee is served cold with Boann poaching. If you know, bar 1661, Dave Morgan.
Right.
That's his poaching brand, but it comes out of Eckernville.
Okay.
And it's sort of like a twist on an Irish coffee.
Irish
Belfast coffee, poaching served cold. Poaching Irish coffee served cold.
Interesting. Must have to go and try that. But the thing that really intrigued me with the 25.1 was the fact that it was done in a chocolate malt mash bill. I was like, I'd never, again, and it was from me and you talking, and you turn around saying that you like a bar chocolate with your whiskey. I'd be the same. I love sitting down. I think it just, whatever way the chocolate sort of coats your mouth, it really, really helps. So when the 25.1 came out, I was like, that's going to bottle. And it came out, and it had this amazing presentation. Like, just the box was incredible. And I remember bringing it down, opening it. I mean, you tried it, Holly, and it was fantastic.
Lovely stuff it is.
Like proper, like, and again, that's where I'm sort of coming through. You know, you had the heritage, you've had the sort of the young, and now you've had the sort of collaborative with Two Stacks.
Yeah.
Now you've got the innovation where they're turning around, they're going, right, well, let's do something that's just a bit outside the box.
Yeah.
And do it with the chocolate mash. Oh my, I haven't ordered any, I haven't put any of these in order. But it's probably the number one. Genuinely, and I know I probably should have left it to last, but I have to say, probably the number one.
Yeah, it's a great shirt.
Just because if I was looking at everything, presentation, taste, innovation, you know, local, it just, everything about it was just
tick the boxes.
Brilliant. And again, we went down to Copeland. We took part in one of the cask shares, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
2 of them.
Yeah.
I think it was the first 2 I got.
Well, this was the 5th one. From what he's saying, it's potentially like the last one they're going to do, which I really hope that's a wee bit of a fib, because I'd love to see them do a few more.
Yeah.
And hopefully at some point I'm trying to get Graham down here to do an episode as well.
Yeah.
And I'll try and get the elbow in. I'm like, come on, just go and talk to Gareth. Just go and talk to Gareth. And be like,
insider
just let me know what's happening. I know you're balling, but come on, let's just get what else is coming. But it's really interesting when it's coming. Yeah, I mean it's I did an Instagram story about it. So it's a tequila, Jose Cuervo tequila finish.
Same.
But it's peated as well. So I have no idea what this is going to taste like. When we went down, they brought out, you know, different aspects, and I think he'd done one that was like he'd finished it for a couple of months maybe, just to sort of give a concept of what this could turn out like. And is it going to be good? So 2030? Yeah, 2030. It's my 40th birthday. Hopefully it'll be Yeah, well, that'll be that's when it's 5 year.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I think I'm waiting to 2029 for the first one.
Yeah, I think it's 2030. I could be lying. They could turn around and say it's 8 year, but I think they
No,
said they were going to do a 5.
yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. But yeah, they've doing it like I've said on the last episode of this about cash here
Yeah.
and all the great stuff I do. So I do have a lot of time for Copeland, but as of yet, my 25 series is unopened.
Is unopened. But I'll come round. It's fine. I'll come round.
Anytime.
Number 3, number
Number
2,
two.
number 2.
Number 2 touches on the distillery, just as you said, just down the road, Hinch. Warehouse 3 collection, the 22-year-old Madeira cask.
Oh, I love that.
Now, I know there's arguments about the ownership of liquid, but
Nope, it's to do with I'm
not
not.
Hinch's release.
Yeah, it's Hinch's release. Has their name on it.
It's exceptional.
Yeah.
It's another one I blew through so much of a bottle and then had to say to myself, you may pull that back because
you need to keep it.
Once it's gone, it's gone. So
And
I think maybe about 100, 150 ml left.
And that's what I love about their Warehouse 3 stuff. It's just it's because the drop is just every now and then, like you're not even expecting it.
Yeah.
They'll just come out on a Wednesday and I'm like, here,
It's Friday.
there you go. It's coming out now. We've been sitting writing labels and you're like, what? Hold on. What's going on? And then all of a sudden,
And it's
brand new whiskey.
so affordable.
Yeah.
Like, I think that 22-year-old Madeira was £90, if I'm correct.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Or a 23-year-old whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, I have what was it, the 21 year I have upstairs. I think I paid 50, 60 quid for it. For a 21-year-old whiskey.
Well, I just got the. I only opened it on Saturday there, the Shiraz.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, 45?
Yeah. I mean, it's
ridiculous pricing.
But and that's there's no fuss about it.
Yeah.
It's just,
but it's also
here it is.
For drinkers.
Yeah.
It's for whiskey drinkers. It's not, here is a single cask collection.
That you're wanting to
£150, put it on the shelf. No, it's here £45. Drink this.
Tell us what you think.
Next month, there'll be another one.
Yeah.
Come back.
Sorry, you can hear my dog in the background. She's out wheeling. She's like, she knows that we're sitting in here having a chat. No, well, again, that's where it leads nicely into my last whiskey of 2025, which was Hinch. And it was their peated single malt that they came out with. Because again, I don't like peated. But that one changed my mind. And we went down, we'd done the episode with them, and we'd got to trying it when we were down there. And again, it was one of those, I talked on the it was just one of these ones where the peat, all of us, it wasn't overburn. So you're not like looking at like some of the ones like Ardbeg and stuff where it's just
it's just straight off.
And that's it. And that's all I'm really getting from those. And you can tell me there's other characteristics to those whiskies, but I can't taste it.
Yeah.
But this one, you started getting, again, I said it was like what they're telling you is in it.
Yeah.
When I'm reading the bottle and I'm looking at it, it's like you're getting that honey, you're getting a bit of black pepper, and you're getting this sort of the profile that they've put together, and they're saying it's like, this is what it is. It's a drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
Go drink it. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And again, it was because it just sort of brought back to local hitting a milestone.
Yeah.
Their first liquid, here it is. And then that was it. Because I remember it was the first photo they put up was the 2 bottles just in black. And then the next week it was out.
Yeah.
There was no, and I'm
no
sure.
Big fuss about it.
Yeah, it was just, let's go.
Yeah.
And I think like, it's news now anyway, by the time this podcast comes out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, well, it's news now because I saw on Instagram today, so I'm taking it that it doesn't have an authority on it, but it's official. But Mr. Stafford has left Hinch.
Yep.
So, like,
the king has left the building.
And the boss boss man is gone, and like I don't know what that means for them. Who have they got coming on? Like, don't get me wrong, they have Emma,
Yeah.
and Emma is fantastic.
If she's taking the job, they're in good hands.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like she sold me on the Sauternes cask. Like that was her. Like that she just kept saying, try this one, try this one. And I think Holly, you even agree that's probably one of our favorite whiskies at the minute that we have upstairs.
Again, one I do actually have it opened.
Yeah.
I've had too much of it, but I do have it open, and it is exceptional.
Yeah. So sad to see him go. Because
Sad
again,
to see him go.
but
Very interested in where he pops up next.
yeah,
Very interested.
yeah, it'd be
It'll be a big win for
wherever he goes to.
whoever he goes to.
But equally, then again, hopefully it is Emma that's taking the reins. We don't know,
Yep.
but if it is, really excited to see
Yep.
what.
And good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to see what comes up because again, it's just down the road, and hopefully they keep that theme of here's another release, the
Yeah.
Warehouse 3. Here you go. Here's another one. Here's another one. Just keep trying them. Drink our whiskey. Drink our product.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be great. But on to the
So,
drum roll for the finale.
number one of the year is the Two Stacks Polaris 4.1. It is a 4-year-old heritage pot still. Liquid from Boann. This was part of I say dissertation for Fenton O'Connor.
Like a university dissertation kind of thing, yeah?
Yeah, I think this was part of how he got his doctorate there.
Ooh, okay.
Could be wrong, but I know it was part of a project from 4-year-old heritage pot still using a vintage mash bill from 1892. So it was as you can see, a single
I
cask,
was supposed to look at the colour of it.
and the color of it from full maturation in Oloroso's hogshead, and it comes in at 57%.
Strongbow.
Absolute exceptional, one of a kind whiskey, packed full of flavor, and this has been without a doubt my number one this year.
You can tell. There ain't much left of it.
Actually had a rep that I work with, and he sourced that there was a couple tins of this left in a off sales down in Newry where he lives,
What's that off seal?
and I got him to fly by and pick them all up for me because I was like, oh, I'm not getting this again because I've completely sourced as much as I can, and
Oh, that was nice pop as well. Seriously, like look at
That's all
the
right.
colour of this. See now I'm on
Wait.
Oh.
of course you have to taste this magic.
I'm on their website now. I was just out of stock, of course. But again, this is something. Oh my god,
Exceptional. Like,
That
without
is-
a doubt, my number one whiskey this year.
that is so
It
good.
is unbelievable stuff, and even I don't know, just everything about it. The bottle, the new style, two stack bottles, unbelievable. The label on it, and to give you a wee bit of information on the mash bill, it's a 40% malted barley, 30% oats, and 30%
See,
40% on malted barley, 30% malted, and 30% oats. Yeah, and I was right. It is
that it's. I mean, it's so nice now.
a collaboration from Fenton O'Connor, but I'd read that it was part of, I think, his
Like a
doctorate,
Oh,
PhD, whatever it was he was doing, and this was part of the project.
so I've brought it up here on the website because again, I was going to buy a bottle, but like you can't buy a bottle, so I'm gonna have to go and hopefully that it just shows up on an auction site somewhere. But one of the things that it's saying here on the pallet, if you can spare 5 minutes to leave the whiskey to air, it explodes into life. So I've taken a sip. It's absolutely fantastic. But I'm gonna give it a minute. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes. But that's again, it brings me back to the pillars of creation that obviously was in my list.
Yeah.
The complexity that are in these whiskies is second to none.
Yeah.
And nothing stands on top of the other thing. Everything just seems to fall into place. You're getting again because I don't have this educated palate, but I know how to read about a bottle. And I know that how to if I can read a bottle and it turns around and says that you're meant to get sticky toffee pudding, a bit of bacon spice, cream dates with a touch of leather like undertones. That's the one that got me because I got smokiness, but it isn't smokiness now that I've read that.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking
It's
about it.
almost a spice
Yeah, but it's like that sort of
that would fool you into thinking,
yeah,
there's a bit of heat to that,
yeah,
but it's just that pepperiness
yeah.
warming you.
That sort of gives that hint of. And now that I'm looking at it, goes, it is a bit more not smoky. It's woody.
Yeah.
It just really really sort of holds what's in the barrel, but that's I think I'm gonna have to get the Pillars of Creation down and have a couple of wee drinks of it. Two Stacks is definitely one that I think I'm gonna have to really start looking into what they're coming up with because they came out with a few collaboration ones. What was the one they did recently? I think again it was around sort of Whiskey Week where they had the guy come in and painted the bottles. Remember?
Oh, the girl.
Oh, was it a girl? Was it? I can't remember. I just
Do you
remember.
know Ronan?
Yes.
Whiskey for Breakfast?
Yeah.
It's his wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she is an artist, and I'm 99% sure she has a studio down in Newry Warren's Point.
Yeah, because they said it was a local artist as well.
And she comes in and does hand paints the bottles.
Unreal. Oh, look at the V10 as well. Sorry, I've now just been distracted.
I know.
On the website now. And given they're only down in Newry as well.
And I did say, now if you do call down, they do have some wee bottles here and there that you maybe don't.
That you don't necessarily see.
That you don't get other places because there was a airport exclusive that had sitting that I bought last time I was there. But as I did say, I am a sucker for Oloroso's Hogshead and Oloroso Cask Red.
Yeah.
And that's full maturation.
And that's the whole thing.
And you can see why I love it. It's exceptional.
See, there's one there that's just come on, and I've just noticed it. And I don't want to make this episode about Two Stacks, but it's the Canada Cloud. Now, I have seen this before. What's always interested me, and again, it sort of brings this sort of full circle as to why I wanted to buy this, the Friend at Hand. Now, this is different, but it's the 13-year-old whiskey. 13 is my lucky number. And I've always wanted a bottle of 13-year-old. And it's 13-year-old. And again, it's, 65 quid? But there's a lot going on in that one there. Pasito de Pantelleria. I'm going to absolutely butcher that, but it's a 13-year-old single grain. 2-stack Canada. Again, the colour of it just looks fantastic.
See, one of the top...
Is that been 5 minutes?
Yes. One of the top samples I have on my list is Don Hines from Dublin Whiskey Club.
Mm-hmm.
Set me up a 2 stacks Canadian Cloud Cask one, but it was the exclusive that was only released in Canada. Absolute
belter,
unbelievable dram. And I even messaged 270 to see if I had any laying around, but
none.
Unfortunately, just to be.
That there, so I've let that sit, and I've done what they've told me to do. I've let it sit, and I've just sort of given it that 5 minutes. And the second time now, you've got a bit more burn, which is nice because it's obviously you're getting the flavors, but it's left a tingle around my lips, which is just epic. I love a whiskey that does that.
See, I thought also, not to take away from it, because this is head and shoulders for me, just my opinion, above anything else I've had this year. But I also found that mouth tingling warmth
Mm-hmm.
of the Hinch
Yeah.
5-year Madeira.
Yeah.
These were very similar in, I would say, call it mouthfeel
Mm-hmm.
in that way. But for me, no disrespect to any other whiskey, but Liam Shane killed it with this one. Absolutely unbelievable liquid. And if you happen to have a spare bottle laying around, you know where I am.
Listen, you get him a spur bottle, I'll bring him on the episode and we'll sit here and we'll drink. We'll make it a 3-hour episode and we'll have it in a bar of chocolate.
Yeah,
Chocolate a choice?
I'm not that fussy.
No.
Like, I have just a sweet tooth, so like I wouldn't, if I was if I was drinking that, I could be sitting eating Reese's
Yeah.
Cups, or I could eat dairy milk, or
Yeah.
I've just a sweet tooth.
Just whenever it's just sweetness.
Yeah,
No, that's
terrible sweet tooth.
That's awesome. Any predictions for 2026?
Of my top whiskey a year.
Well, no, I mean it's obviously it's very, very early days, but is there anything that you'd be looking forward to, like, you know, or anything that you'd want to see, you know, let's go local. Let's stay local. Let's stay sort of around sort of Northern Ireland and stuff like that.
I don't really know. Hinch will hopefully Hinch continue Warehouse 3.
Yeah.
Exceptional
Keep
stuff.
that
So
going.
keep that going.
Copeland, I think there's
Copeland,
I think there's a
constantly great stuff. So
again, they haven't said much, but it's sort of just like from whispering, it sounds as if they're going to have a good few, hopefully, things coming out. Whether it's this year or next year, I don't know, but I'd like to see more from Short Cross.
Short course, exceptional stuff. No,
I was with the Whiskey 52, and the Short Cross one came out.
yeah,
I have the bottle up somewhere as well. But again, I think for me, I always find their whiskies maybe just a wee bit understated. Like I have the Distiller's Duo there. I have the Whiskey Week one.
did you ever get the distillery exclusive?
No.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one. Suppose that could actually know, because that was 24 about that, so missed out, but
Mhm.
great whiskey. No, I would like to see as a whole. I know Copeland brought out the 25.4, which is a pot still,
Mhm.
and Short Cross have brought out a pot still. I'd like to see more pot still
Yeah.
whiskies from the north, because there's two
I know, brilliant.
and they're brilliant. But otherwise, we just have single malts
Yeah.
or blended
Or
whiskies.
blended.
Obviously, a couple of single grains too, which are obviously understated. But yeah, a couple more pastilles out there.
Titanic brought out a nice single pot.
What one was that?
So it was a 5-year that came out, and I can't remember what the
Was that
most recent one.
Was it the first one?
No. So this was, it came out last year, because again, when we done the episode, we tried it. It hadn't been released at that point.
So they did.
So there was the 5-year pot still. Now, if you were getting it from the distillery
Yeah.
in the bottle your own, it was a 6-year pot still. I have a bottle upstairs, and it's really, really nice. But there was a really interesting bottle that came from Titanic, and this is where I want to see the initiative and the ingenuity coming into whiskey. They did a bottle, and it was finished in Agnostura bitters.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I gave you a wee sample of it. Oh my god, it was
Yeah, no, it was lovely.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
They did another few ones, which again, I don't know if it ever came out. Again, I sort of heard whispers of some stuff, but like I think I heard of one that was like a fireball.
Okay, that wouldn't be for me.
Not for me, but I like.
Interesting.
Not
for me.
I like that sort of thought process, and
Yeah.
again from the Dunvilles one where they came out with the peach brandy one, going completely off the reservation almost, and going, right, well, what else can we infuse whiskey with?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see a few more things like that, where it's not
Few
your
new things, yeah.
yeah, so it's not your single pot. Yes, okay, but it might be a single malt or a single pot or whatever it is, but you're not going in expecting that, what I would call classic whiskey taste.
Yeah.
You're going to get something that you're just not expecting.
Yeah.
I think there's
No, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there who'll turn around and go, oh no, we don't want that. And they're very purist and stuff, and absolutely fine. Drink whiskey the way you want whiskey to be.
Exactly.
But I like to see
That wee bit
completely
experimental.
different.
Yeah.
I think sort of Method Man has started getting into that direction where
Yeah.
they were like really going, right, let's try different woods. And, again, from speaking to Barrett, some of the direction they've went with that is just, again, off the reservation. It's like, let's try it and see.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just throw something, see if it sticks.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm looking forward
Yeah, a
to
few new things.
in 2026 would be interesting. What about you? You just want to try whiskey? Yeah. Just all the whiskey? And much more of this? Much.
I've no mic.
Oh, you don't have it? Oh, I was going to get you, Mike. Sorry, Holly.
I'm nodding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Producer Holly wants new things. She wants Dave to buy new whiskey. Yes, new whiskey.
No.
So it's plenty more whiskey.
Yeah, we have it. I mean, she has no microphone there, but she definitely said, yes, Dave, go and buy more whiskey. Absolutely, she did.
I heard it.
Yeah, and he's deaf.
Deaf from one ear.
But he heard it. Lee.
But also, just touch on that,
Go.
is I would like to maybe work out a collaboration with Two Stacks.
Yeah. Oh.
What we could see what we can work out.
What could you do?
I don't know, but I'm always mine's ticking and want to have some big plans this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My plans are very get one podcast a month. I think if I'm able to maintain that at the minute, and then maybe do bits and pieces in between it. I'm not setting myself up for too high expectations. I think last year I was sort of
You hit the ground running, like.
I hit the ground running, but I think I got distracted with too many things. Because again, it was like you and I were talking about it earlier on, in a very good way. Like it was just, again, what I said was the whiskey community, everyone just wants to help. There's only so much time I have. And there was so many things I really wanted to do, but to be able to do it, just couldn't. I mean, like there was, I think last year was just a very unfortunate year with family passing, and every time there seemed to be an event that I was going to, couldn't go to the event.
You need to stop booking events.
Honestly, it got to the point where I was just like, maybe I'm the scud here. Maybe I should stop saying I'm going to go somewhere, because the minute I sort of put my name down and say, okay, I'm going to that, someone tagged. I was like, right, let's just not do that. So, yeah, not spread myself too thin. Let's just
of course.
go out and focus on this, and then see if there's other wee nice wee things we can do over the year as well. Get you on a few more times.
Of course.
A bit of
always here, drink whiskey and talk.
Anything you want to do this year, Halls?
Holiday?
She wants to go on holiday. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about whiskey. All right, okay. She wants to go on holiday. I've got Cork a couple times this year, so.
Okay, you have never been down.
Got a few. You've got Clonakilty whiskey. You've got West Cork whiskey. You've got Littleton.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean you on the train to Cork.
100%. That might be obviously I need to finalize these here, but next month I have a tasting obviously on the 29th here, which is Teal. But next month is supposed to be Clonakilty, so hopefully
I have many Clonakilties.
Everything going to plan. I put a few stops obviously, and reaching out and trying to get bigger things up to the north. So obviously, as I said, I had Boann for their first tasting in the north, which was my last tasting of 25, and then Teelan is here on Thursday 29th, and then Thursday the 19th of February all things going to plan, should be Clonakilty.
I need to be there for that one. I do. I like if I am free, I'm going to that because Clonakilty for me has a huge backstory.
Yeah.
Probably one of the reasons why we go down to Cork every year is Clonakilty. So I'll save that for an episode
Of
with
course.
Clonakilty. But fantastic whiskey. Absolutely fantastic
I
whiskey.
had their single pot stir again
Yeah.
with one I got probably this time last year, birthday money,
Yeah.
stretched.
So one of the main ones that I was chasing on the Irish whiskey auction was their inaugural release bottle,
Yeah.
and it kept going up and up and up to the point where I think if I had bought it, you would have divorced me. And I'm not talking crazy money, but it was one of those ones where I was like,
Too much
yeah, it was just past the threshold of
reasonable.
yeah. But I mean, it's one of the bottles that I am going to look out for because I do have their first whiskey. I went down, I poured it myself out of the cask. I have the whiskey note on it. I have everything. It's upstairs. It was what I was going to bring down instead of this. But I do want to do an episode on it. It was one of the episodes that we did when we were down in Cork that ended up never coming to fruition.
Yeah.
So it will be another episode. But yeah, if you're doing Clonakilty, I will be there for Clonakilty.
Yeah, well, all things...
Touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood. I've reached out far and wide for a couple of distilleries this year, so hopefully the big plans all come.
Sick. Unreal. Well, listen, Lee, thank you so much
Yes.
for being on first episode of 2026. That was a lovely end to it as well. That 2 Stacks one, very, very good. Let us know in the comments if you agree with our top 5.
Yeah.
Or what your top 5 is. I'd say there's a few people who'll have other ones that we've missed.
Yeah, more likely.
But we sort of kept it very local to Ireland. I'm sure there's
And you
some cracking ones across the world as well. But
You can probably tell most of my top 5 were all sherry cask finishes because the sweetness is
I had a bit of a
all
mix.
around.
I had a bit of a mixture. I said I was sort of dipping my toe into it last year just to see what else was out there other than single pots.
Yeah, no, I got that much, but I can't pull myself away from something sweet.
Drink the small ones. Right, listen, that's us. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Thanks, Lee. Bye.
Yeah.